The Chinese government is in a terrible position as a result of its own economic aspirations. It was predicted that China would surpass the US GDP in the near future. However, things appear to be different now than they were a few years ago. There are several reasons for this situation. In this video, we will examine a few state-focused initiatives that have negatively impacted China. The main issue that China is dealing with is a collapsing economy as a result of the strict zero-COVID policy measures. This has forced a number of Western companies to stop doing business in China. A few major corporations like Apple, Samsung, and Volvo have moved their production bases to friendlier nations like India. Various private sectors such as e-commerce, real estate, pharmaceuticals, and education were suppressed by Xi Jinping, the Chinese president. The country's aging population is another factor contributing to its deteriorating economy. In recent decades, China's population has been severely affected by COVID-19 and its one-child policy. To resolve the population crisis, the Chinese government abolished its one-child policy on January 1, 2016. And then, they had introduced the two-child policy, which was amended to a three-child policy in 2021. However, the Chinese citizens did not want to have more children because of the higher education fee and high cost of living. Throughout the last 2 decades, China has reaped the benefits of the present world order. Now, China is concerned about the changing geopolitical landscape. It is frequently attempting to change the rules in its favor and to transform the liberal international order. For example, Beijing has expanded the number of UN soldiers and has raised its support to UN for its personal gains. Similarly, Beijing wanted to expand its influence through the Belt and Road Initiative. But it has met with severe criticism. Many people believe that there are numerous geopolitical limits, including policy transparency, social resistance, and corruption. The initiative is accused of lacking liberty and human rights values. Also, some of the ambitious BRI projects have begun to collapse. Some Chinese megaprojects, such as Ecuador's $2.7 billion Coca-Codo-Sinclair hydroelectric plant, have problems in their construction. Similarly, the 969-megawatt Neelam Jhelum hydroelectric facility in Pakistan experienced cracks in the tunnel that transfers water to the turbine, eventually shutting down, owing to a malfunction that cost Pakistan $44 million. Similarly, around 500 structural flaws were discovered in Uganda's 183-megawatt hydropower plant. And now, China is forced to spend money on dam rehabilitation well before the dam's useful life, making it a pricey business. The Belt and Road Initiative primarily consists of poor economies that are shown carrots, but are locked in a vicious cycle of debt that pushes them farther into economic disasters. Turning to South Asia, China's all-weather friend Pakistan is experiencing hyperinflation as a result of a deteriorating economy caused by poor governance. As a result, China has put several of its projects in Pakistan on hold. China has refused to deliver funding needed to complete the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. Since its economic reformation in the late 1970s, China has been expected to adapt its ways and accept worldwide principles of mutual coexistence. But we are increasingly seeing China trying to replace the United States as a global superpower. But the issue here is the Chinese ideals. Smaller nations have begun to wonder if they can depend on China or if they are making a mistake as a result of China's unclear policy. Instead of making attempts to change the global order, China should focus on rectifying its failed policies. If not, China is certainly doomed to collapse.